Sure.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we are. Another great conversation coming up. We got a very special guest, Dr. Richard London, and now a friend of the podcast here. So what we want to do is, Dr. Richard, if you want to say hello.
Hello, Big D, and everybody listening out in the world.
All right, excellent. So, Dr. Richard, let's just get into it, man. We're going to be talking about these excuse me, we're going to be talking about we got 18 steps, guys. For those of you that are driving in your cars, for those of you that are listening to this on the treadmill, you're probably going to want to re-listen to this again. You also want to probably connect with Dr. Richard London. We'll be putting his website in the show details, but you can go to automatealife.com. And we're going to be talking about an 18-step program for all addictions. So before we get into that, I'm very curious to know, out of these 18, have you ever had any addictions? If so, what? Yeah.
Okay. Probably when I was younger, a sex addiction.
Okay.
Yes. And sex is a substitute for love. So one of the lessons I came in with this lifetime was learn the lesson of love. And so I thought the way to learn it was through sex, but it's not. But the sex was fun. So I had a great time. I mean, a really great time. Yeah.
All right. And how do you define addiction?
Well, an addiction is when your mind, body, soul, and spirit can't do without something. Yeah, that's an addiction.
So how often were you, with this sex addiction, do you have like an amount every day, every week, every few hours? Like how deep was your addiction for sex?
Well, the nice thing about it, when you have charisma and you're an attractive person, and you have certain other powers that I have this intense energy. I could go in any room, any bar, and just pick anybody that I want to be my girlfriend instantaneously.
Nice.
I used to go there with my cousins, and my cousins they'd say, she's too pretty for you. And I go, what does it mean to be too pretty for someone? Yeah. So charisma, energy, and intelligence, and great humor too. Yes.
Yeah, but how did you, because we may have some people who have a sex addiction now, like how do you know you just didn't like having a lot of sex, but you said, no, what, this is an addiction? How did you gauge that?
Well, it's an addiction where there were days when sex was 7 times with 7 different people, as an example. That's an addiction. Yeah. Yeah. Definitely an addiction.
Where I know they say with, drugs, you could be a working or what do they call it?
Right, sure. So I was a functioning.
Oh yeah, functioning, yeah.
Yeah, I was a functioning addictive person. But again, the way that I look, I went out with the world's top expert in sex. We went on a date. And so within an hour, she says to me, you know more about sex than I do. And I do. Yeah. And at the end of the evening, she wanted to have sex with me, and I said no. So Big D, why do you think I said no? Here's the #1 sex expert in the world, and I say no to her.
To make her want it more? I don't know.
No. It was because my sex addiction, I still looked at the intimacy and the connection between the person, whereas she looked at sex like going to the bathroom, going to the toilet. It was just routine. Yeah. Nothing in my life is just routine. See, I do everything, and this is good for your listeners. I'm going to teach you listeners something nobody's ever taught you. Is people have passion. Like Big D, you like sports, right?
Absolutely.
Right. So, but there's another type of passion that comes from the soul. It's a soul's passion, and you have to be able to develop that. and I know how to develop that. So when my favorite ice cream is Belgian chocolate ice cream. So when I eat it, my energy resonates in the millions, and my soul passion resonates in the millions. So when I was having sex, my soul's passion was at a very high level. So it was addiction, but it was healthy. It wasn't dysfunctional.
Mm.
Yes, because I was expressing my soul in the intimacy and the connection. See the difference?
Yeah, I could see it a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, so this 18-step program, which makes it different than any program that has ever existed, and let me explain to your listeners, is that people have any kind of addiction, they have emotional triggers. And if you're an alcoholic, if you have a food addiction, sex addiction, telephone addiction, there's emotional triggers and a lot of drama and emotion connected to your addiction. And so there was never a program in the world that can remove the emotion and the emotional triggers. So I developed a special programming system. It's called SEP, Special Energy Programming, SCP, Special Energy Programming. So I have the ability to program words, anything. So you can program a word to get a specific response every time a person uses that particular word.
Can you give us an example?
Well, I created a word called wellness air, WELLNESSAIRE, wellness air. So in the world that we live in, no life path ever existed. There wasn't a life path. So in the 1800s, people wanted $10, then $100. Then they wanted $1,000, $10,000, 100,000. Then people wanted to be a millionaire. Now people want to be billionaires and trillionaires, but that's not a life path. That is just a monetary goal. So you can be a millionaire, a billionaire, a trillionaire, and have a miserable life.
Mm-hmm.
So what's the good about being a millionaire, a billionaire, a trillionaire if your life is miserable? So if you set your goal to become a wellness heir, it's a specific life path that has specific energy. Guess what it gives you? Joy,
Mm.
gratitude, wealth, love, harmony, peace, everything you desire in life. So that's how you program. I programmed another word, prodigy mind, PRODIGYMIND, prodigy mind. So it's where the internet and the mind are one. Yes. So when you use the word prodigy mind, it's easier for you to connect with the energy of technology. I love technology. Yes. I was the first person to be on public internet. How do you like that?
Mm.
Yes. First person. And I loved and adored the internet. And I built lots of .com companies, hundreds of them. Yes. Yep.
Nice. Okay, so let's get into this 18 steps.
Right.
All right. So, and this is for all addictions.
Yeah.
These 18 steps.
All addictions.
Okay.
Yes.
And what are some of the top addictions that you've come across people having? I know you mentioned food. I know
Yeah.
you
Food,
mentioned.
cell phones, the internet. Uh, the, most people are addicted to dysfunctional lifestyles. That's probably on the top of the list in the world today. People are addicted to fear. Fear is false impressions appearing real. False impressions appearing
False
real.
evidence. False evidence.
Yeah. No, it's false impressions. Yeah.
Okay.
Because people create these impressions that, oh, okay, I'll give you an example. When you were a little boy, did your parents ever tell you about the boogeyman?
No, I don't know if my parents did, but I knew about him. My friends did.
Okay, Big D. When I was 4 years old, My parents were drilling me about the boogeyman and don't go outside at nighttime. You know what I did?
You went outside.
4 years old, I went looking for the boogeyman to scare the shit out of the boogeyman. So that's how you have to deal with your fears. You have to confront your fears.
Where's the boogeyman? Yeah, let me talk to him.
No, I didn't want to talk to him. I wanted to beat the shit out of him. Yeah. So I was a little warrior. Yeah. I wasn't afraid of anything. I mean, anything whatsoever. Yeah.
Okay.
I was a little guy, but tough. Yeah. So my particular 18-step program is about commitment. See, you have to be committed to change and transformation. Like your listeners out there, they're afraid of this virus, right?
Mm-hmm.
The virus is like the boogeyman. It's going to get you, right? Yeah, people are afraid of it, right? So my life has not changed at all during this period of the virus. Why? Is because I immediately said to myself, my life is normal. My life is normal. My life is normal. And so not only did it continue to be normal, but I was retired and I had to come out of retirement to save people's lives because people don't understand the solutions. So I want to tell your listeners out there, we're in a world of crisis, but we're really in a world of change and transformation. So my 18-step program for addictions is really about change and transformation. See, there's a big difference. You know, people go to the doctor's office, they have a cold, they could get a shot, okay?
Mm-hmm.
But when you're committed to change and transformation, the process is a lot easier. It even seems easier. So, listeners out there, if you think of the word crisis, oh my God, that's a terrible word. Yeah. In fact, money is a terrible word. You know, listeners, all you listeners out there who want money, the more you use that word, you're never going to get it.
Hmm.
Use the word wealth, riches. Yes. You're more apt to get it. So I want to give your listeners some techniques to move them forward in their life. Uh, I don't know if you know, I was the first person in the entire world to use a concept called the law of attraction. Do you know the law of attraction?
Absolutely.
Right. So I used it 45 years plus before the book came out. And so I was 4 years old. We were poor, and I liked good food, really good food. So I'm walking on the boardwalk, and I said, I want to have my pockets full of pennies. Okay? My pockets were filled with pennies. I'd find them on the boardwalk. The next day, I'm not a stupid kid. I asked for nickels. Third day, I asked for dimes. Fourth day, I asked for quarters. By the fifth day, guess what I asked for? Paper
Dollars.
money.
Yeah.
Paper money. I'd find envelopes filled with $200, $400, $600, $800 every week. Every week. When it rained, the gutter would be filled with money. I'd pick the money out from the gutter, and you know what a gutter is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I picked it up from the gutter, brought it home, put it in the oven, dried it, and spent it. So, 4 years old, how am I able to do that? You know, by the time I was 8, I was making an equivalent to today's standards, 330,000 US dollars at the age of 8 years old. That's a lot of bucks, right? So how did I do it? And it's important for your listeners who have addiction. You gotta trust yourself. There's only one person you have to trust in your life. It's trusting yourself. Big D, do you have children?
Not yet, no.
No children. Okay. I'm going to teach your listeners really quick because it's part of all the listeners out there who might be addicted and they're having trouble parenting. I was a 10 parent. You know why? I learned the number one lesson in being a parent.
What's that?
Happy fathers make happy children. Happy mothers make happy children. I was so happy. Every day I made myself happy. But here's the difference. Most people, when they make themselves happy, they neglect everybody around you. You don't do that if you're going to be a great parent. I never neglected anyone. And to this day, I never neglect anyone in my life. But I'm number one. So you listeners out there and you teenagers out there, you're number one. And you're always number one, but not in an egotistical manner from your soul, because you have to say, when you look in the mirror, and I look in the mirror every day, and I'm really honest, you have to say, I'm number one. Yes. Start every morning being number one and making yourself happy. And you're gonna, if you're gonna go to get coffee, you're gonna go to a restaurant, get some breakfast, you're gonna make everybody around you happy. So that's part of this 18-step program. Is it's been programmed to make you number one, to be happy with yourself. You know, you should always believe that something wonderful is going to happen.
Mm.
Always believe something wonderful is going to happen. Always believe something wonderful is going to happen. Now, do you see I say things in threes?
Yeah.
You know why? If you say an important thing three times, and then a total of 9 times, and I'm going to give your listeners an example. Here's the 2 most powerful words in the whole world.
I am.
No.
No?
Nope. No, which is negativity, and the other one you're going to love. Write it down. Yes, I know.
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah.
Yes, I know. Yes, I know.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I like you.
yeah. So, yes, I know was programmed by me to have a real high vibration. So say you teenagers out there and adults out there, when you're unhappy and you're feeling all alone, you go, yes, I know, 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 yes, I know. It kicks you right out of your depression, right out of your punk that you're in, whatever you're in. And